In today's episode of Games and Names, our game today is snooker, and our name is Mustafa El Gibeli, Shooting Club International snooker player. Snooker is a cue sport played on a table covered with a green cloth, with pockets at each of the four corners and in the middle of each of the long side cushions. The game is played using a cue and 22 snooker balls, one white cue ball, 15 red balls worth 1 point each, and 6 balls of different colors. The red balls are initially placed in a triangular formation, and the other colored balls on marked positions on the table known as spots. Players execute shots by striking the cue ball with the cue, causing the cue ball to hit a red or colored ball. Points are scored by sinking the red and colored balls in the correct sequence. A player receives additional points if the opponent commits a foul.
I'm Mustafa Hussein Ismail Gibeli. I'm 23 years old. I'm a snooker player. The snooker is a game of billiards. It consists of 15 reds and 6 colors, yellow, green, brown, blue, pink, black. Each red values with 1 point, and yellow with 2, green with 3, brown with 4, blue with 5, pink with 6, black with 7. And the two players compete, and the winner who has at the end of the game the highest score on the scoreboard. This is simply the rules of the game. I've been playing the snooker game till now for 12 years, I think. I started playing pool. It's popular for the Egyptian society, not like the snooker. Then I turned to snooker and I began competing in national tournaments. When I was 12, I won third place in nationals under 21 for 3 years. I participated in World Under 21 Championships in China, Canada, and Ireland, and participated in the Sharm el-Sheikh last year for men, teams and 6 reds. That's all. The snooker is not popular as the pool. It's not popular like the pool, and the famous clubs competing in the national tournaments in Egypt, Shooting Club, Eastern Company, Heliopolis, Ahli, Zamalek, بلدية محلة, and many clubs. It's a lot of clubs. This turning point was early back from 11 or 12 years. My parents encouraged me to play such a game because it's a little bit concentrated on mental fitness, not physical. So it's mental competing, something like chess or like that. So it's a impressive game. I loved it from the first. I started competing. Was too young. In 2004, maybe no, 2003. It was the first national under 21. This was my first tournament. The first tournament I was so young, so I wasn't yet recognizing what's winning and what's losing. And that's I just was enjoying the game. I didn't have this thinking of the game, or this point of view. Yeah. After years, I tried to treat it as a professional a little bit, winning and losing, and trying to encourage myself to train harder so I can achieve targets in this game.
This film will teach you the basic rules of pub rules pool. Step 1. The object of the game. The object of the game is to be the first player to pot a group of balls of the same colour, and then finish by potting the 8th ball. So let's go through the basic rules. Step 2. Playing from behind the line. The line in question is the baulk line. This is the line that crosses the entire width of the table. This is where the cue ball is placed for the break. The The ball can be placed from anywhere in this area as long as it is behind the line. It is important to remember that the centre point of the cue ball must be behind the line. If the centre point of the ball is on the line and the player takes the shot, this is considered a foul. Step 3. The break. The first shot of the frame is called the break. To break, the cue ball is placed from behind the line towards the triangular formation of balls. Before you start, you need to decide who breaks. Simply flip a coin and whoever wins gets to break. It is considered a fair break if at least one ball is potted or 4 of the balls are pushed to a cushion. If neither of these actions happen, then the break is not considered fair and the opponent is awarded 2 shots. If the cue ball is potted by mistake on a fair break, then the player is penalised by the turn passing to the other player. If the 8 ball is potted on the break, then the balls are re-racked and the same player starts again. Step 4. Choosing colours. If the break has been made and 1 or more balls of one have been potted, the player must continue to play that colour for the rest of the frame. If the player potted a ball of each colour, then they have the choice of which colour to continue playing with. If no balls were potted on the break, then the other player has the choice of colours. Step 5. Fouls. There are 3 types of foul in pub rules pool: the stationary foul, the movable foul, and the loss of frame foul. The stationary foul is the most common type of foul. When it happens, the cue ball stays in its position for the opposing player to take their 2 shots. This penalty is awarded to the other player when a player plays the cue ball in front of the line, a player misses all the balls of their colour on the table, a player hits one of the other player's balls, a player pots an opponent's ball, a player makes a shot while not having 1 foot on the floor, a player makes a push shot. This is when a player plays the cue so slowly through the cue ball that the cue tip remains in with the cue ball so as to be visibly pushing it along. A player makes a double hit. This is when the tip of the cue strikes the cue ball twice and the other player is able to actually see contact.
I think the first one was in 2010 when I felt I can
How old were you back then?
I think 16 or 17. I was training hard to prepare for the tournament, and I felt I can do something good in this tournament. And I finished the 3rd place in this. It was in 2011. It was held in Swiss. It's under 21 and qualified me to the World Championship under 21 in Ireland. That was my first World Under Championship. So it was a marvelous feeling. I didn't recognize it at first. It was a dream for me. I keep watching people playing in international events. It was a dream for me. So it was a marvelous feeling.
Okay.
A player in Egypt qualifies to the World International Championships through we held in Egypt 4 ranking tournaments. Who finishes the first 3 or have the right to participate in the World Championships. Prepared the preparation for such a world event. It's of course different. I train harder, more hours in the usual cases. I train between 3 or 5 hours a day for preparing and close camping. Maybe it can go for 7 to 8 hours a day. Of course, this snooker is not concentrated on the physical fitness, but of course you have to be a limit for the physical fitness to endure this kind of effort, because the snooker matches can still to 5 or 7 hours, the one match. So of course you have to have this physical fitness, but all it's about a mental fitness and mental toughness. So you have to train and prepare your mental system to how to handle pressure and how to. It's a little bit about single dialogue, not like other games. It can be with opponents. You are just you and the table. You are the board. Just a single dialogue between you and the table. That's all. first World Championship. I was under 21. I traveled. It was Kenny in Ireland. It was held in Letterkenny at a small town in Ireland. But they pulled off a good tournament. It was a great organizing for this event. It was of course a dream for me, playing and representing my country. I was afraid that I be in a good shape. I have to be in a good shape because I'm representing my country. I played me. The national team was me and two other players from Boursaid, was Mohammed Ibrahim and Karim Hani. I played. It begins with robin groups, robin stage. The robin stage is the groups. Each group have 8 players. You play 7 matches. I played 7 matches. Played with a Chinese player and Irish player, and a Swedish player, and a Thai player, and the Israeli player. Unfortunately, I lost all the matches except the Israeli player. I won. My attitude after getting back from this World Tournament, of course, changed a lot. My point of view of the game itself changed a lot. I began to believe that I have the potential to be a tough player, and can compete in world events, and can do such a good things for my country through this game. This event, a lot of experience that helped me to achieve many things in nationals. So after this tournament, I finished after 2 nationals, 2 consecutive years, the third, and I played also under 21 championships in Canada and in China. It gave me a lot of experience. I felt I can be a professional, not just amateur, playing for just pleasing myself and just like that. The most significant results, I finished the 3rd place in 3 national tournaments under 21 for 3 consecutive years. So it qualified me to play the World Under 21 Championships for 3 consecutive years. In the men championships, I qualified to play in the World Championship in Sharm el-Sheikh last year, in the World teams and 6 reds, and I lost in the last 32. I think it's not like that. I think it's there was a trend in the 90s in every cafe and every entertainment place. There is a pool table. But the snooker is an aristocratic game. It has origins from many years, not like pool. Because I think pool, the costs of playing pool for the cost of the table and the equipment used to play pool, it's a lot cheaper than the snooker. Snooker takes expensive cues to play with the cue ball. The cue, it's the stick you play with it. Snooker. So I think the cost of the snooker is higher than pool. So the trend of spreading the pool games in cafes and everywhere. So I think this is the reason. But we're trying these days to spread the snooker, and many junior started to play and know what's snooker, and I hope this can be a new phase for the snooker in Egypt, especially. In the African region, Egypt is the dominant for the African championships. In the last African championship, the first three places was from Egypt. This took who finished the first player, Hatem Yassin, to take a professional tour for the professionals, because the snooker is divided to two federations: professional federation and amateur federations. Professional federation is independent of the amateur one. In the amateur, I think the Chinese players is dominating the championships. And of course the English and the Irish, but the Chinese, especially under 21, they are talented, have potential to achieve things in amateur scale. It takes a system, a well-organized system, to produce a world Egyptian champ. I think that is in every country, in China, Far East, or Thailand, or European countries. They have a system. They deal with the snooker game as a profession. Not he's just like soccer in Egypt. He gains his living with playing snooker and sponsors and such like that. Here back in Egypt, we don't do that. We just do that for loving the game, and because we love this game and want to compete in it. But we cannot earn our living from playing snooker championships. Yeah. Everyone have his work and his life, so it's different. It's different for them.
Where the cue ball was going. We'd have to say a little unfortunate to get a kiss on the ball killer, but it's still got the ground in the middle. A lot of players just roll up to the yellow.
I'll tell you what, he's fighting for these. This is unbelievable stuff. But if it goes in, he's on the pink. That's the shot he's trying to play. On the right-hand side on the cue ball. This looks a lot better. The play. Crowd will be willing it in. Is it online? Has it got the pace? Listen to the roar.
Get in. Where's that cue ball? Keep running. Keep running. Just about right. Great shot.
What a shot.
I think it has to be the main concentration with the juniors and the young people who can compete in the world events. I can prepare them for participating and competing in such events. But here in Egypt we have the financial potential and such like that for snooker game, especially not good to prepare or to make this Egyptian champ. But I think it can change in the coming while. I think it was winning my first match in the first World Championship against the Israeli Pirates was the thing that I can't forget till now.
Yeah. Tell me why.
Because I was afraid that I can be just participate in this event and I leave no good impression for Egyptian players. So I tried my best. This was lack of experience, but it was a good thing for me to win even one match. For me, in the game. My future, I wish to be a professional player, and I go with and play in the world professional events and be a famous professional player. But the life in Egypt is different. I have to concentrate on my work and my social life, getting married, such like that. So I think it's not an achievable dream. It's not easy. So. But finally the snooker is an addiction. I can't stop playing snooker, so I love it. I remain playing for I don't know for how much, but life is priority. So I think it's culture because we are afraid of anything we don't know. Maybe people if they change channels and see snooker players are playing, they get in their mind what a boring. They will be watching this for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hours, so it's a cultural thing. But media can play an important role in this by coverage of how impressive the game is and how it's really tempting to play this game, and the coverage of the national tournaments and the national players representing Egypt in world events, such like that.